Many of us drink coffee, tea, and energy drinks to help us get through the day. Caffeine is well known to the public to be the molecule in many of these drinks that gives us the alert feeling we're looking for when we drink them. Caffeine is a methylxanthine, part of a unique class of drugs derived from the purine-based xanthine. The active ingredient in many of our favourite drinks are all xanthine derivatives, caffeine, of course, being the most well known. But its relatives, theobromine and theophylline, also act as stimulants in many of our favourite drinks. Caffeine and other methylxanthines have been somewhat difficult to study as the stimulants work very differently in animal models to how they work in humans. For instance, the molecules are very toxic to dogs and cats, and it is the presence of theobromine in chocolate that makes it so toxic to dogs. Methylxanthines act on many different pathways in the body, but two pathways seem to dominate the stimulant action of the molecules. The first prominent action of methylxanthines works by blocking the adenosine receptor in your neurons. This leads to the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine, epinephrine, and serotonin, which then act to provide the strong stimulant effect. The second mode of action involves the inhibition of phosphodiesterase enzymes that catalyze the hydrolysis of the active cyclic AMP to the inactive non-cyclic AMP. Cyclic AMP is an important secondary messenger in cells, and by facilitating its build-up, caffeine and other methylxanthines are able to amplify the signal of neurotransmitters that rely on it, like the epinephrine that's produced in the first pathway. Caffeine is naturally found in coffee beans, tea leaves, kola nuts, and in many other plants in high concentrations. It is consumed in huge quantities around the world in drinks like tea, coffee, and yerba mate. It has 3 methylated nitrogens, and this differentiates it from theobromine and theophylline with only 2. Theobromine and theophylline both have 2 of their aromatic nitrogens methylated in the double-ringed xanthine structure. The difference comes from the positions of the nitrogens where the methyl groups are attached. Theobromine is commonly found in chocolate and in vast quantities in tea. It is also found in smaller quantities in the kola nut. In humans, it has a similar, but generally weaker, effect than caffeine as a stimulant. Theophylline is also readily found in nature in coffee beans and tea. It possesses a stimulant effect above theobromine, but below caffeine. Many studies suggest that caffeine is a very low-risk stimulant, and it may even have small beneficial effects on the body at the concentrations it's generally consumed in the population. While many of us act as though we can almost live on coffee, it's important to keep hydrated and eat well to stay healthy. Maybe some of us can come back in the next life as Pseudomonas perdita, CBB5, an organism discovered in 2010 that can live on nothing but caffeine for every meal.